Okay, let's talk about the Dodgers versus Rangers game on Tuesday, June 11th. So before we get that, let's get to the topic of the day. So the Dodgers just got done playing the Yankees. So let's talk about a World Series preview. First off, if you got to watch any of the games, I thought that they're all really good. The first game went to the 11th inning with a 0-0 tie, and then the next two games really went right to the very end. So if these two teams, uh, you know, stay healthy, progress, do all the types of things that you expect a championship team to do, it is certainly not unreasonable to see a LA New York World Series again, which will be the first one since 1981, which I had the privilege of getting to see Fernando Valenzuela pitch in that game. Got to go to that game. And so I couldn't think of anything better for baseball. Really, when it boils right down to it, Major League Baseball needs a series like this. So even if you're not a fan of either one of these, this is the type series that we need to see. And given what we just saw, the teams are well matched all the way across the board and should be a real fun one. So, all right, let's get to this game though. So, ESPN has Dodgers favored win right at about 63%. So just they're at the upper end of what my confidence interval is. I've got the Dodgers winning right at about 58% with a median score of 6-5. And if you want to use the averages, is it really comes out to about 7-5. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. Like I said, I use the ESPN as a reference just because it's a reference. The thing is, with their predictor, I really don't know what goes into it. Whereas that's kind of the benefit of something like this. You get to see exactly what the predictions are. So with that, let's take a look. So these are the lineups. We can kind of see also down here on the left and right the just some of the ups and downs. So you can kind of see this up. And the Dodgers lost their last one, so that's always going to give that downward. But you can just kind of see that they've definitely had some big wins there. And the Rangers, quite honestly, their past looks like about the last 15 games, they've been doing pretty darn good. And so that's probably what's, like I said, I don't know what goes in the ESPN calculations, but with the way that this algorithm works, is I take how the teams are actually hitting, and I use Monte Carlo, not just hitting, pitching, bullpens, and do a play-by-play based upon all the potential outcomes. And so that's what we're going to see here. So let's look at, and just as I look at this here, one of the things that pop out at me is Texas just doesn't have a great bullpen there, or at least outside of their closer, whereas the Dodgers, it looks like Dane Dunning is definitely putting up some better pitches than what, or better innings than what James Paxton is doing. But again, it kind of that matchup is really what's going to drive a lot of that. So when we look at the raw numbers over here, so if we look at the top, these are the raw batting numbers. The first thing that pops out of me is that this looks like the Dodgers are expected to strike out a lot. That's never going to be good. But I'm also seeing pretty high number of walks on both sides, to tell you the truth. Dodgers just a little bit more than what we see over here with the Rangers. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of the power numbers as well. So when you come down here to the power, Dodgers have, is it is close. I mean, the ESPN prediction has it 63%. When I'm looking at this, when you see the OPS 850 versus 800, I can definitely see that the Dodgers have the advantage in the power. Definitely looks like they're getting on base a bit more, especially when we come down here to the on base percentage, and that the OPS or the on base percentages, it looks like it's right about 35%, whereas it's actually higher down here with the Rangers. So what it looks like is the Dodgers hitting for more power. And quite frankly, look at the Dodgers lineup, and it's really not that hard to see that. But with Rangers bullpen kind of open up the barn door there, should still be a fun game. Dodgers are the road team. That definitely helps reduce things, reduce, yeah, just road teams just don't play as well. I don't accommodate that for that in the numbers because I think that that's something when you look at the raw numbers, you can just better afterward. So again, should be a fun game, but again, let's start looking long term. Dodgers are looking good, Yankees are looking good, and seeing that preview of a potential World Series, I think was phenomenal. So anyhow, enjoy watching the game.